On Tuesday, September 17, 2019, Kentuckiana Broadcast Technical Services, Calvin Bader, his dad Mike Bader, and tower climber Robert Duncan begin rigging the 500-foot Brassfield, Kentucky tower to install WBON-TV's new Channel 9 antenna and 575 feet of inch and 5/8 Draca foam cable that will connect with the WBON-TV transmitter. Father Mike keeps an eye on the work and a steady hand running the winch, while Calvin and Robert work to get all the necessary riggings in place on the tower for the Channel 9 antenna pick. It's a clear forecast, a bit warm in the upper 80s with no rain or adverse weather in sight. That's good news. Rigging of the tower takes several hours. Mike's getting tired, so instead of proceeding with hanging the antenna today, the crew decides to finish up on the ground. They uncrate and prepare the coax on the jack stands to get ready for the following day. The crew still needs to find a hotel, get checked in, and have a nice meal to get ready for a big day tomorrow. The Channel 9 antenna will spend its last night on the ground. First thing tomorrow, it's heading 425 feet in the air. Day 2 starts on-site icing down some water and Gatorade. And since someone forgot the cooler, Homer's all-purpose bucket will suffice. The crew is rested and ready for a big day. Robert will be going up on the tower, getting into position to receive the Channel 9 broadcast antenna. Once securely suited up and tethered, Robert begins his 450-foot ascent on the tower. It's a clear, cool morning with a pleasant light breeze. Robert has his Chris Stapleton tunes cranked to keep him company for the ride. That little speck up there, that's Robert, now in place and secured on the tower. The crew sends back down the headache ball, aptly named for what happens if it hits your head. This ball weighs around 85 pounds and helps keep the line, Robert, and anything else it's lifting from swaying in the wind. Calvin has the antenna rigged for mounting, and it's time to hook it up. Once connected, Calvin carefully walks the antenna into position for the pick. Well, there it is, positioned just like it will face mount to the tower. Nice job on that rigging, Calvin. Now Mike will drive the antenna up to Robert to begin the mounting process on the tower. This is where we find out a lot of things. Since this antenna was designed to be mounted on a tapered section of tower, there's some anxiety if the top and bottom mounting brackets will line up and how hard they will be to get behind another run of inch and 5/8 cable on the same face. Needless to say, if you need to drill new holes, consider other hardware or mounting options, there's not a fabrication shop or hardware store up there, so adversity or the unexpected in tower work sometimes means several hours dealing with even the simplest issue. Today, however, fate is in our favor. Unbelievably, Robert has the antenna mounted in less than an hour and is heading down ready to hang the inch and 5/8 coax. Great job, Robert. To recognize this astonishing feat, we even got a flyover and hat tip from Air Force One. Well, or someone. Next step is rigging the inch and 5/8 coax with the connector that couples to the antenna. The crew gets the coax started. We don't want anything getting damaged on this pull that is threaded through many things on the tower, so Robert will go along to babysit it and make sure it has a safe journey. The guys do it again in record time. With coax connected, Robert is putting in some snap hangers to secure the coax temporarily. All this before lunchtime. Time for a sandwich and a cool drink. After lunch, while Robert continues connecting the cable to the tower with connectors, Calvin feeds the other end of the coax into the transmitter building and prepares to install the ground connector. Look at that. Only 10 or 12 extra feet left on the coax run. Hats off to the Chief Financial Officer for an almost perfect coax order. The rest of this afternoon will be spent finishing coax hangers and putting on the always trying ground connector that will go into the transmitter. As Robert says, all that's left is finishing up. After a very productive day yesterday, Robert has a few loose ends he wants to address here and there on the tower and makes a trip up to finish up and start on the de-rigging process. The ground crew starts loading up while Robert finishes up on the tower. Tower work complete, the boys finish loading up. This is the canister holding the rope. Notice it takes 2 good men to get it in the truck. This is the same rope Robert initially carried 450 feet straight up on the tower on his own. Might explain why he was a bit tired after day 1 rigging. Here's the view from Robert's perspective, 400 feet up on the tower. That's the skyline of Richmond in the distance and the Appalachian Mountains south and east. Quite a view. We leave you with some shots of the tower work. Thanks again, guys, for the top-notch work, and may all your projects be as successful.